Right at this very moment, we'd like to have people be made aware that we're on right now, broadcasting live, and of course I'm Bishop Francis E. Revels-Bey. You got my ceiling up in here. Let me kick this back here a little different. Hopefully this doesn't slide on me at all, and I don't want this taken off, so hopefully we could set up my other mechanism. This evening, broadcasting live at my studio here, and we're hoping that we can come across tonight. This is a new application that Ustream.tv has set up for iPads and iPads too, where we can broadcast right now. I'm coming across live, so we've got an extra energy, as you can see here, and I want to make sure that this is coming across clearly. Well, the Circle of Grace 1 was founded on July 2nd, 1999 AD under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence. This is my spiritual and metaphysical ministry. And of course, it gave birth to its own spiritual and metaphysical institute on February the 7th, 2009. So this is a golden opportunity to come across here and being able to give forth all of this information, sharing it with you across the World Wide Web. And I'm so excited to have all of this nice newer equipment to work with, and hopefully by next month I hope to have another upgraded kind of laptop here, so I'll be able to get even better lighting. But this is all experimental for me, and be able to broadcast live now. It's been approximately 1 month that I've been broadcasting live using an iPad, Apple iPad 2, so I'm still learning everything I need to learn about it. Well, of course, welcome all of you that come to the weekly Wednesday show. There's a morning show and an evening show. The morning shows have been instituted back in the month of May. So now you have 11 a.m., 11:30 or so, we come on and we give the actual decree, and it shall be in a teaching format. And it really, the Circle of Grace 1 is also referred to as the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. And I do have the other show channels set up, so eventually I'll go back into the system and I'm going to set up that morning segment, which will be more like the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. We're going to use Wednesdays as our communication teaching day to get this information out to you. And then later on, I've taken a break so that I'm not doing the teleseminars, but I will be able to come on live again as soon as I get this under my cap, my fez, under my heart, in my heart more, to be able to be much smoother with all of this new technology that I'm delving into for myself. And as you know, that you can watch this now on your Android phones, especially the Apple iPhones. You can watch this on. You can tune in and check it out on your BlackBerry. You can check it out on the Samsungs they got, Samsung tablets. You can check it out on the Motorola Zooms and the BlackBerry Playbooks and Apple iPad 1 and 2, the second generation. So you can definitely tune in and watch, or watch on any PC or Mac, these shows. Of course, this is the first time using the more upgraded version. So let me go forth and say, through divine power and by divine grace, may all that we see here, all that you experience here this evening, be totally a blessing for you, a blessing that will bring you into new realms of understanding, something that's going to take you to a greater height with yourself, that's going to allow you to grow in a way that's healing for you, that's going to allow you to grow into a way that you are able to expand your consciousness into a higher level, a more creative level, a more noble level, a loftier thinking way for yourself, but most of all, a practical way. Something that you are going to utilize more often every day in your life. And that is the beauty of your own mind. The mind is the totality of who we are. The way and the concepts in which I'm teaching through the Circle of Grace 1 as the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. The mind is our spiritual body, our mental, emotional, physical, material, etheric body. This is all that we have and more. And not only do we have, people feel you got the 11 chakras, you got more than that. You got so many grades and levels within all of those chakras. So think of the chakras in themselves as literally being octaves to each other. And then within those octaves, between octaves, you've got layers, just like notes on a piano. You've got the black keys as well as the white keys. So you've got all these tones in which to carry out a message. And so this is a golden opportunity. And again, I want to thank all of you that are watching from all the way around the world who are able to tune into this show and receive your blessing in that way so that it brings a greater harmony for you. I also want to thank people who are all over the United States that can tune in for as far away as Kirkland and Seattle, Washington, coming right down into La Jolla, California, San Diego, California, Los Angeles, and Oakland, California. And I'm not just talking about relatives out there. I'm talking about there's some people that have checked me out from Facebook that are out there in Oakland that watch these shows, and coming right down to my spiritual family that's right there in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the other people who I've connected with there in Albuquerque in the Corrales area, all the way up into Santa Fe. People that I've connected with at a store there. They're called the Ark Bookstore. So if you're ever in Ark Bookstore, say hello for me. They just met me one time, but I'll be back again to finalize my living conditions. So I will be there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And of course, you know, we always want to be there when we're thinking in our man-made mind, human mind, that we want to be there, but really according to divine will, to be there in the divine creation. And we're all learning at different levels how to kick forth this energy. So just like a medical doctor, just like a scientist, just like an engineer, we all are upgrading. I'm definitely already upgrading my own skills. I'm studying all the time. So I'm looking into some new information that I'm using that hundreds of thousands of people around the world have been using for a long time, have been taught these other techniques. So I'm beginning to go back and investigate these things that I found online. I've connected with some people from 2008, and now I'm learning some other skills to enhance the skills that God has blessed me with. In fact, if you were able to see the live show that was recorded this morning on my other Ustream application, this is a more updated version, but I'm quite sure if you had a chance, you may have witnessed that I taught the highlights of palmistry. And I had said from as far back as May that I wanted to come on and teach some of the highlights of an introductory level within my 5-tiered intensive training curriculum, which is known, the 5 levels, which is known as the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance for my institute. So I've kept my word. Last week I gave you some of the degrees of the Tarot, where I talked about the relationship last Wednesday morning of last week, when I was on the 20th. Yes, Wednesday the 20th, July the 20th. I went on in the morning and I talked about the connections in the Tarot, between the minor arcana, the major arcana, how the 52 regular card deck grew out of the Tarot 78 tarot deck, I'll call it Tarot or Tarot that I call it, and all the different systems that you come across, different layout patterns, some of the basic layout patterns that you could use. I talked about the meaning of, and summarized the meaning of the court cards. I started out specifically with the aces, and I talked about the 4 aces being the 4 states of mind and the 4 faces of God, and I carried that into the evening portion, where we went into that and we rarely went across and got that information out. Many of you know I deal with numerology and dealing with numbers, and I have my own way over the years of having a greater awareness and presenting that awareness online to many of you from all over the north, south, and the east and west of these United States. Now, I do have my Spiritual Gateway website, and as soon as I get my other computer, laptop in here, I'll be able to go to circlegrace1.net and make a few more changes. But if you want, you can read about the Friends of the Circle Grace One. One of my colleagues you can read about is Reverend Maria DeAndrea, and you can go on and read the question and answer. It's in a text format of how she got started in her field and what she feels are some of the things we need to do for ourselves, and where she feels in her philosophical studies and hermetic arts, where everything is kind of leading in the future and the vision for our world here. Of course, she's been out there since 70s, early 70s, maybe the late 60s, out there, very proficient in her work. So I'd say from about 1966 all the way to the present. So we're looking at someone who's been in her field, I'll give you 44 years. And so she has a lot of information to offer. And we're going to add some more people in the future. Right now, showcasing her, so she'll be there for a long time. And when I finally get some other things corrected with my upgraded PCs and laptops, I'll be able to go in the system and make some more changes so that you could receive a greater benefit from many other spiritual sisters that are out there doing stuff, and spiritual men that are out getting the message across to be kind, compassionate, unconditional, and help as many people as possible. And that's very, very important in our day and time. We're not going to be able to slow down everything that's going on around us out there. The earth has to replenish herself. The earth is in a rebirthing process right now, and a cleansing process. And this is not some surprise. This is something that's been going on for eons. And of course, who knows, there might be people perhaps trying to manipulate. That's not me to talk about that. But you can go on those other websites. There's a gentleman out there, the David Ikes. You can see things that they're doing. David Wilcox, he has a lot of good information out. If his information resonates, they say he looks very much like the reincarnation of Edgar Cayce. When you look at the both of them, they look very much in features. Okay, and everybody has said across the internet that the first original of the line of prophets, even before the biblical time and for the other time frames, they have the great Pharaoh Akhenaten. And they say Akhenaten, which was Amenhotep, he called himself Amenhotep because he was connected to Ra, the spirit of Ra, which is the sun. And of course, this is not saying he's a sun worshiper. He saw God as the sun, meaning the sun is one of the characteristics of God. The moon is one of the characteristics of God. And so Prophet Akhenaten, Master Prophet Akhenaten, had the sight to see that one deity, one God is our direction. Of course, after he left, everybody wanted to have 30 million deities to worship. But he was one of the ones of his generation, of his time, to talk about the one God and how we are connected to that immortal solar disk beyond the sun. And so we are bringing those teachings. Of course, Mika Jail comes every now and then and shares the message of save the world, save the planet, and save the children. And so that is something for those of you who resonate with saving the children. Be about your father and mother's work. Honor your father and mother, so that thy days may be long upon the earth land which the Lord, I am that I am, gave unto thee. God gave to you. So be about your father and divine mother's work of creating a better world where you can live and you can see the children live. Be kind to children. Be they babies all the way up into adults. I never see myself as being beyond. I like to have fun and laugh at myself. You know, you can't take yourself too seriously here, but you can take yourself with unconditional love. You could feed unconditional love back to yourself, where your skills and everything that you do replenishes you. So one of the things, again, this morning that I spoke of, and even before I do that, if you want to be in touch with me, you can simply call me on my Circle of Grace 1 mobile number, which is 908-878-2978. You can simply send a text message and make a comment if you want. Keep your comments above board. In other words, be positive. I do not answer the negative. I do answer the positive. Okay? There is a lot of work being done to raise the consciousness on the planet, to raise our consciousness to be of good cheer, and to do whatever we can to contribute so that we have a better world. It's always nice to have some nice homemade juice, and this one's spiked here with green tea, and it's still cleansing mode for myself. But this show tonight is not going to be a very long show. Again, I don't want to tax the system here. These iPads are still new for me and new in use with all these applications, but you might be through Twitter, or you might be here, well, my phone is on my other table, but you might be here by way of Twitter or Facebook to realize this information is out. In fact, I'll go on later and put the information out, but we're going to, with this prayer, amen, we are going to put you in a state of awareness this evening, in a state of remembrance. This is a special meditation, and then I'm going to bring you into I Speak As I Am, and we're going to make sure you get that information in your being. This is essential, that we know that some people say you don't need meditation. Some people say, the Aboriginals say, we dream. The life that we are living now is a dream, because we saw it and we participated in it as a dream. So they say 24 hours a day you're dreaming. Well, you're meditating 24 hours a day. There's all forms of meditation. You do not have to be in a state of meditation where you're not consciously aware of what you're doing. You can grow to the state of conscious awareness. And so this is something that is essential for your well-being. And there is, be it you a student and practitioner of Qigong, Tai Chi, any other form of internal martial arts, from Xingyi to Bagua, Pakwa or Bagua, it doesn't matter. You are Northern Shaolin stylist, Kung Fu stylist, or Southern Shaolin Kung Fu stylist. If you studied karate, or taekwondo, or rangdo, all of these systems, taekwondo, muay thai, it doesn't matter. If somewhere down the line you've been involved in incorporating meditation and energy work with your body, maybe you are a Reiki master, pranic healing master. Maybe you are someone who has studied touch point therapy, touch therapy. Maybe you're someone who's going to Swedish Massage Institute, those schools in traditional massage. There are all kinds of systems. The latest ones that's out there now is reconnective healing by a brother by the name of Eric Pearl. And Eric Pearl was a chiropractor, and all this information he began to channel. And information that was in the books of Enoch, he began to channel and found the teachings there as well and come up with this reconnective healing. Or maybe you're someone who's experienced Brother Bratso, known as the Little Brother, the Croatian brother, who is out of Serbiak, out there in Croatia, who's been all over the world giving a silent 8-minute gaze. And now that I got this equipment, I'll be able to go on YouTube for about 10 minutes and talk about my experience I had on June the 10th. And I've been witnessing his energy and experiencing the gaze. I don't take it as I'm being just on the receiving end. I'm gazing with him. And I had my experiences in October of last year down in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, and again on the internet. Dr. Michael Beckwith had him streamed live from the Agape on January the 6th, and then he streamed live out of Hawaii. I experienced that twice as well. Every time I've been twice, in October and in January, and then in Edison, New Jersey, twice. And each time that I've experienced, the energy has gotten stronger. The divine energy flowing through this man is so strong. And he's so humble. He's the everyday man. Like any prophet. Prophet, everyday man. Prophetess, everyday woman, but with something extra added of awareness and remembrance. And then I saw him 5 times in the Crown Plaza Hotel on June the 10th. There's something very unique happened on my way of going into the hotel, where I feel God used me to demonstrate instantaneous healing right on the spot. So, I know that they take these, they videotape everything, they record it, so that's being played all the way around the world as well. So, I didn't get up to say, look at me, Bishop, but just to say, I participated and I received. And that wasn't my intention all day long, because I didn't have a problem with my hamstring and my tendons in my leg. They just snapped, popped. Snap, crackled, and popped, for real. And I had to hobble in, and the blessing was upon me through the Bratzo gaze for 8 minutes, the first 4 minutes. And I'll talk about that at another time. But we're going to get into tonight and what we have to say here for tonight. This is the 27th of July. This is I see this as a very powerful time frame. We are 5 days into the time of Leo. And Leo can be very entertaining. Leo can be in the spotlight. Leo can be the father of the astrological wheel, the presence of the Father shining bright in our lives. So there's all kind of ways that we are utilizing this time. And from last week to this week, especially just 2 days ago to now, is this opportunity to build out this new dream, this new vision for ourselves. And there have been many things recorded. They say the Holy Spirit pours itself upon thee. Makes what? Young men have visions and old men have dreams. Well, not everybody. As far back, Martin Luther King said, I've been to the mountaintop and I have seen. He had dreams too. Got to have a dream. Something to pull you forward. So, what is the dream of the Circle of Grace woman? To show you what I've learned too. Show you things I am learning now. And share the wisdom of what? Divine grace. Not just in its philosophical form, but in direct application. What is grace? Grace is not, people call it favor, but it's more than just favor. Grace is more than just favor. Grace is the glory of God. And what do we mean by the glory? It's your aura. It's your healing presence of the I am in you. It's the presence of God throughout your body, throughout your entire being, throughout your temple. It is the expression, the infinite expression of God. Yes, to have grace and to know grace is in your life, grace is self-sufficient, causes you to be self-sufficient. Grace is all you need. Grace is when you don't know what's going on. Grace means when you don't have a clue how that you're going to get through a difficult time. Grace occurs when you don't know how you're getting out of a situation. Amen. When you have health conditions that are holding you back and you've been written off. You've been written off. But the beauty of the Spirit of the Holy Spirit of divine grace falls upon thee. Why? Because it's embedded in every cell of your body. The remembrance, the compassion, the unconditional love of grace divine, or known as divine grace, is within thee. And it's an amazing grace. Why? Because it blesses you beyond your years. It blesses generations before you. What is a generation? 20 to 25 years is a generation. 20 to 25 years is a generation. You and your ancestors, 7 generations back, 7 times 20 is 140. 7 times 25 is 175. So 175 years back in time, and you say 175 years ahead of you. 175 years parallel universes all the way around you. You get blessed, and the spiritual family gets the fallout, gets the blessing. So there's this opportunity that you go through all the time, where grace is working in your life in very subtle ways. The Spirit of grace, so says the angel of grace, which is the Archangel Haniel, has allowed me, and I'm not the only one, but I have it here in the Circle of Grace 1, to share these teachings. Some of these teachings you pay for. Some of these teachings right now are absolutely free. What is a part of our divine grace? What is a part of grace itself? Well, let me Kabbalistically break down the word, the letter, grace. Grace bestows upon you generosity. Grace bestows upon you the power to give. Not just receive, but give. When you can receive a gift given to you without any condition, your auric field expands. And guess what? When you say thank you, it ricochets back to the giver, and it causes their energy to expand. Grace. Grace gives you the power to give, letter R, the power to receive in a generous way. The letter A is the etheric vibration of everything, the fire, the air, the water, and the earth. Grace causes you to think. It gives you the enthusiasm and the drive, the zeal to carry on your life, no matter how difficult it appears, because it's just an illusion. The letter C brings forth compassion, creativity, a certain magnetism, a certain charisma comes through you because of your compassionate nature. And E not only gives you the curiosity, but the E allows you to communicate, to be in a community where you're communing with the oneness of God, and God is the grace that's in your life. The letter E is also your ability to gather resources, to gather information, to gather the resources that are connected to Mother Nature and the divine plate, divine treasure chest. And that letter E gives you the ability to grow in your awareness, like the letter A, to be aware, but also to remember. Here, henceforth, that letter R, like that Resh, that fire energy of the will, of the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. There's so many ways in which these letters come upon us, but they are symbols, a symbolic language that speaks truth. Not just a metaphysical truth, but a spiritual truth. So grace is very empowering. Teaches you to give and receive. To give and receive. To raise your consciousness. To give and receive and have awareness. To give, receive, to remember, to be aware. And to live in a state of compassion. And to share that, to communicate that. That's so much. That's just a more simplistic, symbolic way of the word grace. you have a chance, through grace, to experience the spirit of moderation, balance, or temperance. To have your spirit forged and tempered, like the prophet Malachi. You'll be forged like silver and gold. You're already valuable. You already have a value. But now you become more valuable. Within you, so says the divine grace, that there within you is divinity, the ability to magically, as we say, divinely bring an effect, a cause and an effect into a world, to create an influence upon the world. You have that. Grace resides in you. Grace is not outside of you. Grace is within you. You have the remembrance of it. It's already inherited in you, embedded, planted, seated in your consciousness. You are cultivating it, bringing it forward. This is the beauty and the harmony of grace. So, we have this attunement. We have this attunement, and what I'm going to read forth is, I speak as I am. And I wrote this for my sister, and I still call her, not only my sister, family sister, my spiritual sister. Wrote this for her, my protege here. It's an affirmative prayer, decree, and creative pathwork meditation. Wrote it under the sign of Aries, March 29th of this year, 2011. It's called I Speak As I Am. And I want you, when you hear these words, to take these words like a journey. Meditation. So that you feel greater enhancement, greater alignment, greater attunement, and greater self-realization. And I want you to picture light all over your body, a white light, all around you. A globe of light, a sphere of light, and you're seated absolutely in the center. You can look beneath you, see a swirling light above you, see a swirling light to the right and to the left, behind you and in front of you, this swirling light of divinity. You want this to be such a power, such a blessing for you. You want this to move you, to motivate you, to cause you to create an influence in your life and those who enter your life. Create a wellness in your life and those who enter your life. Grace can appear in a miraculous form. That means there's an image for you to see. There's an image. There's an image that speaks to you. There's a picture that speaks thousands of words to you. That releases many degrees, and degrees are increments of light that are infinite to you. I want you to understand that what I'm about to read here causes you to have a greater awareness about the word impossible. Where you no longer see the word impossible to mean something negative or something unattainable. But that it is, because within the word impossible is a contraction for the word I am, which is I''am. Possible means you possess the ability. You possess the ability to free your own mind, the totality of it, to free your brain from illusions, free your body, free your heart from illusions, and allow you to seek that which appears to be unseen and untangible, but makes it more tangible so you can touch it. You can feel it. A greater awareness, a greater remembrance. So as we begin with this, the word impossible means the presence of I am in you makes all things and everything possible, which means that you shall possess everything that you desire, as you have the ability and the capacity. I mean, you have within you to hold this consciousness and transfer it to others. So if you have the capacity to do something, capacity to hold something, that means you have the ability to pass it on, to transfer this powerful ki, chi, pranic energy, chi energy, and to make it happen as you see yourself, as others will see you, and as you see them, are one with God, one and the same. So through the divine power and by divine grace, I speak as I am. I want you to add your own name into this now. When I say this, I'm going to point with my stylus towards you. Through divine power and by divine grace, I say your name. Speak as I am. When we think of I am, think of it. I is capitalized, A is capitalized, M is capitalized. I remember that I have a direct connection to God as the divine source called I am. So you want to be like Brother Musa in the Bible, Moses. When the burning bush and the thought of the Spirit spoke to him through the bush. Symbolic, metaphorically, the Spirit was speaking through his difficulty. Speaking to where his mind appeared closed. Speaking to his heart that was now opening. Speaking to him that was questioning. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am the same as you are. Except I'm in an unseen form. You're in a seen form. We're one and the same. Spirit is moving through us, carrying us through. So it says, I remember that I have a direct connection to God. You've never been disconnected. You have a direct connection. As a divine source called I am. I affirm that I and God are one here and now. Can you imagine seeing this, that you and God are one and the same? Can you imagine that? You and God are one and the same. There's no separations. I know. I mean, you know. You can intuit this. You can experience this. I know that I am with God as God. God speaks to gods. God speaks to other gods. You're the other God. You're the other I am in God. Think of the Fibonacci code. Every design is perfect, and in that design is made up of another perfect design that looks just like it. Perfect pattern. So, I know that I am God as God is with me and in me always and in all, ALLWAYS, in all ways. There's no separations. The authority that you seek is in you, called God. You and God are one and the same, so you have the power. Your power is infinite. It's a glorious power of infinity. It's there for you. God is moving through you, allowing you to receive, allowing you to participate, allowing you to step from the realm of so-called impossibility into the realm of possibilities. Infinite possibilities. Daily, God blesses me as I bless others. And that means you're blessing the God that's in others. You're blessing yourself, the God that's in you. You're blessing those who you come in touch with. You even bless them in a silent way. You don't have to say anything because God is speaking through you. God is expressing divinity and beauty and harmony through you. God is expressing through the infinite depths of your own being that is God in you. God is showing you you. God is showing you self. God is showing you self. God is so awesome. God is so infinite. I affirm that I am a magnet, and all goodness is attracted to me now. That means you got to feel and hear. You got to feel it and hear. You got to know it deep down inside you that God is overflowing on the inside. You have this, you are the Holy Grail. You are the goblet, the chalice. You are the Holy Grail, and the Spirit is filling you up and begins to brim over, overflow. Your consciousness gets cleared along the way. It begins to overflow. Your reasoning gets clearer because your reasoning is what? Peppered and salted, seasoned with the divine. You're this magnet, attracting all the time. But now, as you attract, you filter that which is on its way to you. If you've got to feel that you are this magnetic, you've got to come to know that you are this magnetic. You've got to be aware that you are this magnetic. Every day my life is overflowing with and in God's grace. For everything happens easily. That's what grace does. When there's a sea of difficulty, all of a sudden, bloop, grace has catapulted you into ease and effortlessness. Job interviews come your way. You get the job. Didn't look like you was going to get the job. You didn't even feel like you were going to get the job. But a way was made for you to get the job. You had no clue how you were going to get a house. But all of a sudden, you're living in a house. You didn't know how you were going to get an apartment, condominium, town. But all of a sudden, because due to your own efforts and you being aware and you being open, you received. It's not just money talking on the earthly plane. Money is energy. We are being taught. Money is it's just not sitting there as concrete money. Energy presented it there and it materialized there. It came from the unseen into the seen. You became the witness of it flowing through various transactions, various degrees of communication, various degrees where the energy is just flowing. And every time it flowed, it gathered more momentum. And then you begin to see it slow down into your plane for you to receive it. This is yours. This is yours. The universe as divine source called God is my infinite supply. Never ending. This is why we say God is divine providence. It's never ending. Never run out. Doesn't matter when the earth shifts and changes and earthquakes and water, still didn't run out of water, still didn't run out of fire, still didn't run out of air, still didn't run out of moisture, still didn't run out of vaporized air. It oxygenated, it still didn't, but your consciousness had to change with it. Everything with us has to change. So God is infinite supply. We're never without. Somewhere down the line, grace appears in your life. Things are well. You didn't have a job, but all of a sudden you have a job. You were seeking finances to finance a project. Somehow, some way, somewhere, someone recognized you, was placed in your path. Whatever you're seeking is seeking you. Whatever you are desiring is desiring to meet and embrace you. Whatever you're seeking to bring into your countenance, to your spiritual body, is seeking to do the same for you and with you. I see and decree that I shall always have more than enough. In order to have more than enough, you've got to stop worrying about if I have enough. You can't worry. Even if you don't have nothing but 10 pennies in your pocket, you're not broke. Broke is have nothing. Nothing in your bank account, no IRAs, no CDs, none of that. Broke means you may not even have a house, maybe thrown out of your house, maybe may have to walk away. Nothing means nothing. Didn't Billy Preston sing, nothing from nothing leaves nothing? Huh? You can't lose something that you never had. But if you had it, then lost it, and you're striving to get it back, then you've gone through those pains. Those are the degrees of sorrow and sadness, trying to get back once something that you did have. But Spirit says, open up your hand to receive it. Open up your heart. Open up your entire mind. Open up the mental, analytical, airy part of you. Open up the emotional part of you. Open up the physical, material side of you. Open up the intuitive nature so that you could see what you need to see. So you can hear what you need to hear. So you can know what you need to know. So you can understand what you desire to understand. Where you don't have a sense of neediness, neediness drops out, because neediness produces and promotes lack. So you're not going to be ever without. You're going to acquire. You're going to materialize. You're going to embrace. You're going to create. I know that what I see, think, create, feel, and decree, this is what you want to say. I know that what I see, you repeat that, what I see, think, create, and feel, and decree is my truth. When you decree something, you're saying it is what it is, it's going to happen, and I don't have to push. All I got to do is just keep moving along with ease and comfort. Move along without illusions, without worry and anxiety. Move forward. And when you do this, you're decreeing your own truth. And what is your truth? Your truth is supported. It's boosted up. It's held up. Not held back. It's supported. It's raised by the divine source called God as I am. So you move in the glory of the consciousness of God, of the I am presence of God. That's what you're moving with. You're moving with the knowledge, the awareness, the understanding that you're not the only one in the universe. There's others like you. There's people that know more than you. There's people that know more than I do. I'm not upset. Nothing to be upset about. We have to be aware that there's others that may know more, but you have to be humble to receive that into your consciousness. We always got to be humble. There's always people running around saying, how come you're not doing it? Well, look at what you're doing. You don't have to worry about other people. Just worry about the weeds in your backyard. Worry about the weeds that are in the crevice of the crack in front of your building. Worry about the weeds or the sty, or the bricks, or the pegs, dirt in your own eye. Worry about that. We are not in a race. We're not competing with each other. We're here to commune with each other in unity. But not everybody is going to commune in unity on the same page. Why? Because many of us have shot past the old days and the old ways. You have to reawaken to new things inside you. You can't go living in the past. And if people call you up and want to take you to the past, if you find them resourcing that information over and over again, you've got to step away. You can't keep living in the past. Past is gone. The past is gone. You can't take someone back to the past. You can only what? Move forward. Move forward. I'm going to move my chair up. Move forward in who you are. Move forward in knowing who you are. Move forward in being who you are. Move forward in what you know about yourself. Don't worry about what someone else has to say about you, because you can't. You can't sit there and drain yourself in tears about what someone does not see in you, like about you. What matters is what God says you are. What matters is what you know about yourself. What matters is what those who truly love you know about you. And still, it only matters what you know about yourself. You bring yourself to a level of fullness. Give back unto yourself resources of awareness and acceptance, resources of remembrance. Give and resource back to you. Refuel yourself with compassion and grace and generosity. Infuse it into your own spirit, into the depth of your own soul. Embrace this beauty that you have. Embrace this harmony that you have. Know that the Spirit is going to move you to higher plateaus. Spirit is going to take you to a higher height. Spirit is blessing you in a higher way. But you, meaning I, meaning you, should let go of what was done in the past. Now other people say, hey, are you being a hypocrite? No. If you're calling me a hypocrite, maybe you're being a hypocrite. I didn't use the word until now. So someone may watch it and say, hey, this brother's being a hypocrite. No, you're being a hypocrite. Because what you see in someone that you do not like in someone, you do not like in yourself. Why? If you see something like my late mother said, you see something look like a bad penny, you say that person like a bad penny to you because it's in you. You were once there as the bad penny. Someone calls you inconsiderate, talking about themselves. This is why some people say if you didn't have something good to say about somebody, don't say it at all. Because what you say about somebody, you saying about yourself comes back to you. Comes back and haunts you. You're the one that then is living in the drama of it. So this is why it says, watch who you have around you as family. Watch who you have around you as friends. Watch who's in your peer group, in your peer circles. You want to live a better life? Have better people around you. You want to learn how to speak something new? Have people that speak that new thing around you. You want to be able to heal yourself, but you can't do it by yourself? Be in the company of people who are healers, who are healing themselves, who are doing something to create a better transition for themselves, and they can cross that bridge and be in a new land, be in a new source of divinity for themselves. See, God is infinite. God doesn't know limitation. Man knows limitation. God doesn't have limitation. Man knows limitation. Man is mind. Man is always analyzing, always thinking. Man is worried about what he doesn't have. God has it all. Didn't God show Abraham everything that was there for him to receive? Didn't God answer Jabez's prayer to expand his territory? For God, in the name of God, in the name of the divine. Ascended Masters Sananda, Revels-Bey, these are prophets of old who walked this path in front of us. Saint Germain, the Angel of Grace, Mother Teresa, Michael J, known as Mika Jael, they're all here, not only here with me, but with you too. In order to save the children, in order to save Mother Earth, to save the world, you got to save yourself. What is salvation? Salvation is the act of saving one from eternal death and bestowing upon that one that you're saving eternal peace and happiness. Temper your spirit so that you may pierce and see the divine light streaming down upon you. You may see the divine light of Mother Earth out of the seas of divinity envelope you. Will you walk in a greater fullness of understanding? You begin to live it. Make yourself the first person that you're going to touch to change, because you have to change. You can't expect someone around you to change. You got to change. Now, you'll know if you're changing. You won't get so many compliments all the time. You'll get a lot of negative rushing towards you. Well, people are trying to put, why you want to do that? Why you want to change? Why you want to fast all the time? Why you want to cleanse yourself all the time? Hey, I'm cleansing for me. I'm fasting for me. I'm taking this time. I have a lot of free time. This is something that I study to do for me. I'm not an expert. I'm working on it. working on myself all the time. Setting a standard for myself. What is a standard? A standard is a principle. What is a principle? A principle goes into a maxiom. What is a maxiom? A maxiom steps into an axiom. Every maxiom has an axiom. An axiom is an eternal truth, a universal truth. A maxiom is the absolute truth. A principle is a fundamental truth of all truths. And above a principle is moral excellence, perfection, which is a virtue. So you want to always have principles. The principles and virtues become your standards of living. Because you're standing on an axiom, like an axle. Your life goes around, rooted, anchored on a principle. You want to be a man and woman of integrity for you, for yourself, for your family, for your peer group, for your immediate circle of friends and family, community, neighborhood, and so forth. Only you could affect a great change in yourself. Only you. You cannot rely on someone else to do it for you. You have to work on you. You got to peel all those layers, get to the core of you. When you find out something that has made you mad, something that caused you to be fearful and teary-eyed and in a state of sorrow and melancholy, and it's caused you to fall into the depths of addictions, and not just addicted from sex, drugs, and alcohol, but addiction of worry, addiction of illusions, addiction where you're not treating yourself right, addiction of victimhood or being the oppressor, being the bully. All those are addictions. Where you're not addicted to the metaphysical request line, which is 505-717-GRACE. That's if you have a landline phone, 4722 begins to tap out the word G-R-A-C, as if to say grace. So that's 505-717-4722, and you have a multi-purpose decree there. Or you can simply call my Spiritual Circle Grace 1 mobile number, 908-878-2978. Be sure to leave your first and last name. And remember, these phone lines are those who have a desire for help. Maybe you have a question about how I teach my classes. Maybe you want to know when I am doing class. I'm going to be planning some things. I'm not going to do something here. It's a little too early to report it right now. A little too late to report it. But I'm going to be setting some things up in motion here. I'll be around on the 27th and the 28th, but our studios here will be used differently for something else going on, so we're all sharing these spaces. However, I may not be around for the 20th, but I might be around for the 21st, so we can maybe do a special class here. I will be on TV, meaning here on the internet, the first Sunday of August. So I'm going to give you that date. Tonight was live webcast number 141. So I won't be on this Sunday, is the 31st. So I'll be on August the 7th. I'll be here August the 7th to give you some information. We go into the spiritual and metaphysical ministry part of the Circle of Grace 1. That's when you get the astrological numerology messages given. I'm also working on my Two Bears, which is a double dose of spiritual remembrance and divine grace. And when I give that information out, you pay for that. If you want a 6-month subscription, it only costs $25. If you want a full 1-year subscription, that is $45, so you're saving $5. And you'll be able to buy some of the back issues. If you like a back issue, I could definitely send out through email a back issue for you. And as we get a little further down toward the end of the year, then they'll be mainly available. We started on December the 1st, 2009. That was issue number 1. Issue number 2 was in January. Now we're up to issue number 9 coming out for August the 1st. So I'm working on that. I'm going to get that out there to many people who subscribe to it. Now, I used to be able to go on my CircleGrace1.net, but when I get my other equipment, I'll be able to make some changes. But if you go on there now, to CircleGrace1.net, and you scroll over to where it says Home and Services on the first page and click on Services, the index Services. When it clicks on another page, peels up, and if you scroll to the left all the way down on the left bar, sidebar, you'll see where I talk about 2 bears. And right there, through the use of PayPal, you can use your credit card or your debit card. Use a credit card or a debit card. And you can go right there and place your order for a 6-month issue of 2 bears. Now, the issues vary. They vary. Sometimes there'll be 3 pages, including the cover makes it 4. Sometimes they go 5 or 6. There was one I did for the month of March or April that had about 8 or 9 pages to it. So you'll be able to get these issues. Right now they almost cost you about $3.50 per issue, pretty close to it. But you'll be able to get maybe a little more than that, $3.75 per issue. However, you'll be able to get them at a discount as individual e-zines sent to you. And everything is still in a working stage. And you'll be able to connect with me. I'll give you some updates that are there, the past ones and the new ones. So, I'm getting ready to sign off. The Circle Grace One was founded on July the 2nd, 1999, and now it's 12 years old. This is my spiritual and metaphysical ministry, founded under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence, also giving birth to his very own spiritual and metaphysical institute called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. And of course, all of this is under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence. And of course, I'm the host, chief principal teacher, and founder for both, Bishop Francis E. Revels-Bey. I've been at it now 37 years as of July the 2nd. I started in 1974 on my path. So I want to thank you so much for being out. Those of you that are in Charlotte, North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham areas, North Carolina, coming all the way down to Lumberton, North Carolina. Those of you down in Atlanta, Rome, and Albany, Georgia, Tallahassee, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Ocala, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, Katy, Texas, all the way up in Chicago, Illinois. Thank you. Columbus, Ohio, and Cleveland, Ohio, upstate New York, going up into Monticello area. Thank you so much. Coming all the way down into New York City, the 5 boroughs of New York City, also Nassau and Suffolk County out in Queens. Thank you for tuning in to these shows. And in another 15 minutes, you'll be able to go online and watch this show, number 141, right here for Ustream.tv server. There's plenty of past videos to tune into. Now, if you have an iPad 2 with the brand new Ustream app, you'll be able to come in and watch it in this format. If you have the old version, I advise you to keep the old version, because then you could play the other ones through the old Ustream broadcaster application. So I just want to let you know that. If you have the old application, like I have, keep it. Don't discard it. Keep it. That way all the previous shows you could watch that were done on this iPad 2. This is the first one done under the new application today for Ustream, so you'll be able to see it this way. Now, also what I want you to be aware of, if you've got a PC or a Mac, you can watch all the other old shows going back to July 2009, right there in the system, July the 5th. So I want to thank you. I will see you here. I will be here next Wednesday. And next Wednesday is what? I'll be here on August the 3rd with live webcasts in the morning, 1:42 on August the 3rd in the morning, and in the evening at about 6:30 I'll be back with live webcast number 143, and then we'll have a special edition for Sunday, August the 7th, and that's going to be live webcast number 144. And I want you to watch that one because I'm going to talk about the number 144. I've been waiting to get there. 144. Right here. At Circle of Grace 1. Ustream.tv/channel/Circle of Grace 1. Circle-of-Grace-1. Figure number 1 at the end. See you next week in the morning. I'll be here approximately 11 a.m. for what? Live webcast number 142. Wednesday morning, August the 3rd. I'll come back in the evening of August the 3rd and watch live webcast number what? 143. And definitely come here for Sunday at 11 o'clock to 11:30 a.m. August the 7th for live webcast number 144. Thank you. God bless you. And until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the